Today on the Piney Woods Homestead, we're going to make a little sawdust. If we can get the fog off the camera first. Good morning, this is Matthew from the Piney Woods Homestead, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on an addition for Rosie's lot. Now, what that's going to entail is taking down a pine tree to put on the sawmill so that we can make some lumber to build some gates. We've got all the fence pulled, we've got it stretched, we've got it tied up. But what we have to do now is make several gates so that we can put her into her farrowing barn and keep her contained in a certain area for 6 weeks while our piglets wean. So stick around and let's see what we can get done today. So I wanted to give you a look at my wife's pumpkin patch. This thing is huge. This was one of our in-ground garden spots this season, and it's about 30 by 90. Now we had sweet corn in here, we had tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, several different things. But what's taken over the garden now are 3 different varieties of pumpkins. Now we like the pumpkin patch. My wife loves it. It's great for decoration and for food to put up. But what we have discovered, and what we already knew, is that we want more garden space. So today, we're going to be not only building some gates for the hog lot, but we're going to be working towards extending our garden space. To pick the right tree to put on your sawmill, you want to make sure that it's fairly straight, because there's nothing worse than trying to mill a log that's got a whole bunch of waves in it. So try to pick a straight tree. Let's see if we can find one. Now as I pan around out here in the woods, you'll see that we have a lot of trees. We've got a lot to pick from, but we want to get a pine, a southern yellow pine, and we want one that's nice and straight, nice and tall, so that when we take it down, we can get the most lumber for the least amount of work. Guys, if I were a betting man, I'd bet you're probably going to see a tree drop down here in just a minute. Now y'all, I'm no professional tree feller by any means. And I don't really know why they call it feller. Maybe somebody can tell me. We've always called it dropping where I come from. So I just dropped a big old pine tree. Now we're gonna link that joker up and we're gonna get it up to the sawmill. Now, I don't know if you noticed right there, but that log was in a bind. Anytime, for safety purposes, whenever you have a log in a bind, cut from the underneath side. If not, you're going to end up getting your bar stuck and you'll have a whole mess on your hands. And also, if you're not experienced at all with a chainsaw, get somebody to help you that is, or at the very least, get some safety equipment. You notice I'm not wearing it this morning. And I know that's a bad habit. I've been doing it for about close to 30 years now. Sometimes I wear it, sometimes I don't. It is smarter to wear it, yes. But right now I feel pretty good. It's about 92 degrees, so that makes it one of my deciding factors on putting them chaps on. Now I'll go get all the rest of those logs and bring them back up here, and we'll get started on the mill. Now what do you say I show y'all how to do a little bit of milling on this Easy Boardwalk Jr. so we can get on to making our farm gates. Now guys, today's job is going to require mostly 2x4s, and I end up cutting them to dimensions like you'd buy in the store. You shave off about 1/4 inch on both of them and you'll have what you buy at the store. I just find it's easier to work with. Sometimes I use true dimensional lumber and sometimes I use what I could get at the store, but I cut it off at this mill. Not too shabby. Now we're going to flip these over and get our 2x4s cut. guys, I'm gonna end it right here today because it's extremely hot and you've got to know when to stop. And my body's saying it's time to stop because believe it or not, this is real sweat, even though it's on your computer or your TV right now. I promise you it's real sweat. We ended up getting about 10 10-foot 2x4s, a couple of 1x8s, and some strips that we can use for some board and batten when we get around to a project needing it. I hope you've learned something today by seeing how to take a tree down, put it on a mill, and get you some lumber right off of your own homestead. If you don't have a sawmill, it's a good investment. Unfortunate, my dad left me this sawmill, gave it to me. My dad's still living. And Dad, I appreciate this sawmill very much. And I hope that you've enjoyed watching the Easy Boardwalk Jr. run. We'll get on to making some farm gates on the next video to finish up Rosie's lot, and we'll give you that tour that I've been promising of her farrowing barn. Guys, thanks for stopping in to the Piney Woods Homestead. Hit that like button, share it with your friends. We'd appreciate it very much. Y'all have a great day.